Hey, Tony Gas is here. Now, see, this is the thing what I want you to realize, and I want you, if you're a single person, every single person, this is what I want you to do. I want you to find some people. It's different, like, it's hard because you don't know me. So therefore, I'm not necessarily going to tell you all of my business, especially online. Now, when I'm on a coaching call, this person has invested in themselves. So I'll be a little more open and transparent with them so that they understand even more of the inner workings of my marriage. But that's not wisdom online because you got a lot of idiots, you got a lot of trolls, you got a lot of haters, you got a lot of demons that come and watch these videos trying to get them some type of ammunition. And so for those of us online, we who are God-fearing men and women who are married and speaking on our marriage, you probably gonna get about 50% of it, and at the most transparent. You're gonna get about 50%. It just wouldn't be wisdom to share all of your business on a public forum like this. So every single needs to get with their friends and family who are married, and they need to, who marry and perceivably happy. Meaning, if you got a married couple that you have access to, that they show up to the family reunion, to the house, to the game, to wherever, and they seem happy, like you can see that they getting along. You want to talk to them, and just, even if you got to put a few dollars in their pocket, just say, hey, I want to buy you lunch. And try to get you about 5 different married couples and learn and understand the different dynamics of marriage, because there's not a one size fits all. So I've heard women say, who are single women, say that they will never touch the trash. But there are probably countless married women who touch the trash, and for numerous reasons. It could be because the man he working at a certain time that it need to go out. It could be because she cleaning that area and it need to go out, and so she understand that if she was single, she'll have to touch it. And so if she, in that moment, her man is not right there, he's at work, or he's sleeping, or he's out of town, she touched the trash. But there are women who will say they won't touch the trash, and they stand on that. There are people who assume that if a couple does not have sex every week, that they're unhappy. There are people who believe that sex is the glue to marriage. I heard a sex therapist or something like that talking about, she probably know exactly who I am because I bumped into her page and she have like 20,000 followers. So me having on Instagram over 900,000, I know she done seen my stuff. And I have a quote that says, communication to a relationship is like oxygen to life. So you know how your dialect and stuff. So she gonna say sex to a relationship is like food to life. I say, see, this why y'all can't be married and happy. Cause guess what? What is the truth about food? You can't live without it. So she's saying that in a relationship cannot live without sex. And that is an absolute lie from the pit of hell. Because a relationship is about love. And you could be in love and your spouse can get cancer. And if your spouse has cancer, your spouse is not thinking about sex. And your spouse could be terminal, And if you've built on sex and you've become so accustomed to just sex, what are you going to do in the 6 weeks after pregnancy? What are you going to do in the 6 weeks after a surgery? Sometimes 12 weeks. What are you going to do when the baby is just born, or the baby is at an age to where they waking up every 2 hours to eat? Sex not in the picture. What are you going to do when your schedule is so crazy that you're sleeping 4 hours a night? Sex is not in the picture. So see, I need you to take and find 3 to 5 successful marriages. See, success is what you deem it to be. Success is how you define it. So this marriage over here could say they're successful, and the woman takes out the trash every week. This marriage over here could say they're successful, and the woman doesn't work and has never worked. This marriage over here could say they're successful, and the woman earns more money than the man. This marriage over here could say they're successful, and they sleep in 2 different rooms because of snoring. This marriage over here could say they're successful, and they have sex once every 2 weeks. It's been several seasons that life presents different things. And me and my wife learned who we really are and what our marriage is really about in those seasons. And I'm going to tell you now, the stuff I be hearing y'all singles say, woo! Well, listen to me. Listen to me. The stuff I be hearing y'all singles say, I just be sitting there shaking my head. I said, Lord, these folks ain't got a chance, man. I say, this why the divorce rate is 50, 60%. Because people going into marriage thinking that it's finna be this, this, and this. That ain't marriage. That's not marriage. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is what I need you to understand. I need you to remember that you're a human, okay? I need you to remember that as a human, you have mood swings. You wake up on the wrong side of the bed. As a human, there are days that you could taste your breath. Oh yeah, don't lie. There's days you could taste your breath. There's days you got acne. There's days you got diarrhea. There's days you got gas. There's days you got hiccups. There's days that you grow a hair in an area that you didn't know you could grow a hair in. I done seen it and heard it from women. When you go, I done been at the beach and seen a whole feast of ingrowns on the inside of a woman's leg. Guess what? Do you think them ingrown hairs with the pussy bumps is attractive to a man? No. But he got to love you through it. That's marriage. Do you know that there are people who, how do you get hemorrhoids? A doctor probably could tell you. But probably every human at some point in life, I remember one of my homeboys had a severe case of hemorrhoids, he said. He was walking funny. And it wasn't from my understanding, what a hemorrhoid is when like a blood vessel round the rectum busts from straining too hard trying to push your bowel movement out, which could come from not having enough water or not having enough fiber in your diet. That's from my understanding. It could be other reasons. And listen, y'all, when we talk about this kind of stuff, stay out the comments. Stay out the comments about the stuff that's not the theme of the video. That's just a sidebar. We don't need a dissertation on hemorrhoids. That's just a sidebar. Nobody cares where it really come from. That's just a sidebar. Here go a cookie for knowing what it is. But stay out the comments, taking the conversation there. Just let me do that. I mentioned one thing in a video, and people be in the comments with dissertations about that thing that had nothing to do with what this video is about. Come on now. Y'all stress him out. Y'all stress him out. Lord forgive me. Give me peace. Listen to me. When the man get hemorrhoids or the woman get hemorrhoids, what is monostat? What is monostat? Ain't that's a cream for women? What is Vagisil? Do you think that's attractive? Do you think that's attractive? If we round here and we find a, and I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of women think they stuff don't stink. And I done seen them same women who think they stuff don't stink pull out a tampon, and I done seen tampons in the trash can at different houses, locations, and I done been in several relationships, and I done seen, but you'll have women will be in the comment section. Everybody clean in the comment section. Everybody has never taken a tampon out and put it in the trash in a rush to get in the shower and didn't take the time to wrap the tampon up in tissue before it got put in the trash. No woman has ever made that mistake in the comments. No woman has ever made that mistake. And this is what I try to tell you, is we don't realize what marriage really is. It is nothing to do with your fairy tale. It is two human beings. Let me ask you something. You get tired of your mama sometimes, don't you? And you come out of her. You get tired of your daddy sometimes, and you come out of him. You get tired of your sibling. So what do you think you're gonna feel when you are married and this is a person that you not blood related to? You did not grow up with this person. You met this person along the way, and you have to learn how to love them for the good and the bad. And they're gonna be 60 to 90% perfect for you. But that 10 to 40% that you got to learn how to love, it's going to be days you going to want to blow your brains out, proverbially speaking. It's days you going to want to pack your bags and leave. You going to want to be done. That's why I say a man does not get my respect until he is married and faithful. Because you know what that marriage takes? It takes humility. It takes emotional intelligence. It takes sacrifice. It takes strength, confidence, wisdom, discernment. A marriage gonna require every faculty you have access to. It is going to test you in every mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical way possible. And it is so disturbing and disgusting to see single people online arguing over income, credit score, and the restaurants that you're gonna go on dates at. I'm getting sick and tired of it. It was a girl, it was a lady who looked at like, and God forgive me. God forgive me. And I'm not saying she's not attractive, because she's attractive to somebody. But when I seen her Lord forgive me. Because I'm trying not to say kind of, see, okay, I'm going to tell you this right here. If I was a dog, I feel like I look like one of them Doberman pinchers. Because you see how my ears do? I look like a Doberman pincher. My wife sent me a picture of the old ugly, wrinkly faced dog when we was talking about if we was a dog, what dog we'll be. She sent me, oh man, that picture was terrible. So we all, when we look at ourselves, if we compare ourselves to like an animal or a dog or something like, that's how I look at people. I'm just weird like that. I just kind of be wondering like, this person look kind of like a such and such. So here this lady was talking, was not in the least something that men finna be swooning over. And she is popping off at the mouth. I'm talking about loud. All she wanted to do was show her little hairdo. She had just did a little silk press. It was not silky. And it was silky and it was pressed. But it wasn't doing what she thought it'd do. What's going on, babe? Okay. Are you looking slim and good now? Who is it? Huh? Wait. Huh? Oh, your hat. It just matched my shirt. I figured I'd borrow it from you.
He was trying to get a 90 on his test. He did a 90. Got a 100. I said, see what happened when you got study?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Showed itself. What class was it?
AP pre-calculus.
Pre-calculus. And that's what he talking about. I don't know. Pre-calculus is just super hard. Super hard. I don't know if I could do it.
He taught himself that one night, but he said that.
Yeah, he told me he was going to watch YouTube videos.
Taught himself.
The how to learn the math.
That's why I get mad at you, because you copying everybody's homework.
Slacking. And got 100. Look at that. All right, love you. I'll be done with this short. I still got to coach at 5.
Okay, he wants to go to Drew's basketball game at Cambridge.
He can't drive himself.
Obviously.
You saying you gonna take him?
One of us has to take him.
What time is it?
7:30.
I want to go because I want to see it. I can wear my necklace up there to the Christian school.
That's you.
Huh? I'm just asking. Lost my train of thought. So y'all know this from a jewelry line. I don't wear stuff like this. I made this for my athletes, for my pro athletes, because this necklace they spending $100,000 on this. So I as an entrepreneur, I made this to show them that I could get this for them, and I charge them $3,600, and I'm making a profit charging them $3,600, and they going to their jeweler spending $100,000, and it don't look no different than this. Don't look no better than this. I ain't even got no light hitting on this right here. So I that's why I got this on. Y'all forgive me. Got my wife hat on. She was questioning about that. So listen, here go the lady. She's sitting there, and what's not attractive? Look, good. Look, she pretty to somebody. She talking about, so I just found out you in the grocery store and a man trying to flirt with you, but you're not going to buy the grocery. You're not going to buy the grocery, but you're trying to flirt. I'm in here trying to do something. I'm trying to get some stuff, and you want to talk, you want to flirt, but you don't want to buy the grocery. She was serious. And what y'all be saying in the comments, you thought you ate. She thought she had a one. She was trying to show that silk press off. That's what she was trying, and she had lip gloss on. Ma'am, still ain't. Ma'am, ain't nobody buying no grocery. But this is the kind of stuff. Now, she did get ripped to shreds. And that's why I say, don't create fake content to show your hairstyle. Just post a selfie showing your hairstyle and your lip gloss and call it a day. But see, the singles are out here, and it's a lot of singles making it hard for other singles who got sense. So it's a lot of singles out here who don't have no sense, and they have no clue what it takes to make a relationship work. Let me tell you, like in my time as an entrepreneur, people say a relationship is a business deal, and that's a bad analogy. And I get what you're saying, but it's a bad analogy, because a business deal can be revoked at any time. A business deal can be dissolved, can be canceled at any time. I've had probably 20 companies in my lifetime. Last year, when I had to register, like renew my companies, I think I let 5, 6, 7 of them go. Just say, I'm not going to renew this company. I'm not actively in this company. Like, I'm not actively doing anything with this. I'm not going to keep, paying for this if I'm not actively using it. Let it go. That's a business deal. In one of the companies that I'm letting go, I got a business partner. And we've been in that company for 13 years. And I just hit him up one day and say, hey, I'm going to dissolve this company. I'm moving over into this other company, and I'm going to dissolve this company. So, you ain't going to get no K1 for your taxes going forward. He was like, okay, cool. All right. He's like, I'm going to miss it. But okay, cool. That's a business deal. That's not what you're supposed to be able to do in marriage, but that's what we do. So when you ask, why is the divorce rate 50%? It's because of the stupid advice that y'all get from single people who have not made a marriage work. It's from the stupid advice on these conversations and these podcasts that y'all are getting. That's why our divorce rate is terrible. That's why it has been terrible. The advice is not coming from successfully married people. And I'm going to tell you why. There's a quote that says, the deeper a river gets, the less noise it makes. So I took that quote and I spent it. And I said, the deeper a relationship gets, the less noise it makes. Successful married people are so into their household and their family, they're not thinking about starting a YouTube channel or a podcast. Those type of adventures are typically done by other people. And if it's married people, they're doing other topics that they're passionate about, because it's like when you got something and you working on it and you making it work, you don't necessarily want to talk about it because you're in the midst of it. It's almost like, don't jinx me. It's that mindset. So that's why it's only a few of us that'll get out here who are happily married and talk about it, because it take a lot of guts. It take a lot of nerves. It take a lot of cahoons to get out here and talk about it when you actively in a marriage. Like, we still got to work on our marriage. Like, we still got to be diligent, and we still gonna go through trials and tribulations and spiritual warfare. Like, we still got to be in it. So it's like everything I'm speaking on at certain seasons, the devil gonna try me in that area to see if I really stand on what I'm talking about. And so what you have to realize is that's why it's not a lot of married people out here yippity yip yip yippity yip yip yip. And that's why you see it's so many single people talking about their relationship debauchery and just all of the debacles that's happening, but that's going out over the airwaves, and the subconscious mind cannot decipher between fact or fiction. Anything it hears, it accepts it as a truth and it moves towards it. Study the mind. And the conscious mind has to evaluate and accept or deny what the subconscious mind picks up. So if we do not do that, we start to gradually believe what we hear. And if you pay attention to your mindset and your heart's posture, you will notice that when you hear something online, it affects you. And that's why you have to be very diligent about who and what you're listening to. Because if you are listening to the wrong conversations, to the wrong speakers and teachers, every one of us speak from where we are. So if we are not where you want to be, we're going to mess up your life. So you have to understand that. So that's not what's being thought about or talked about. And that's why when we out here and we doing this and we trying to make this here happen, we're not giving good advice because a lot of the people talking don't have the advice. They don't have it. So therefore, they saying do this, do this, do this. And it's like, or this is what dating is like. This is what a date is like. This is what this is like. Okay, they ain't got nothing to do with marriage. They ain't got nothing to do with marriage. Like, your marriage is going to require things of you that you have not heard about. It's going to require things of you that you have not been prepared for. It's going to require things of you that even the 3 to 5 successful, quote unquote, successful couples you talk to will not have told you about. And you're going to have the common sense and the wherewithal to be able to have a barometer and say, okay. I'm going to tell you what I've learned from marriage, because you got to ask yourself, okay, in the grand scheme of things, how much does this really matter? Like, I had to do that with sex and marriage. I had to do that and say, in the grand scheme of things, how much does this really matter? And I had to really sit and process, and I had to evaluate my feelings. And what I found is that I was putting so much emphasis on sex because I was programmed to believe that sex really matters in a relationship. When a relationship is about relating, sex is about physical fulfillment. And yes, it has spiritual and emotional implications, but it is about, sex is fulfilling lust. Making love is actually in communication. So what God did is took and gave me the wisdom to understand, if sex is the crux of your relationship, you don't have a relationship. Because one day, what's between that woman's legs is going to dry up. And one day, what's between your legs will not get hard. And one day, you won't have the stamina to, with your tongue or your jaws, your mouth, even in your wrist, if you're using your hand, that sex is not the end all be all. God gave me that wisdom to show me that that's the least of your concerns. Do you have a heart after God? Are you submissive to the goal of your marriage? Man and woman has to submit to God and submit to the union. Are you temperate, meaning slow to anger, emotionally intelligent, emotionally regulated? Are you sacrificial? Are you a servant? That's what a marriage requires. But what you being prepared for as a single person is to, the lady said that if a baby is hungry every 2 hours, or if it's hungry, do you not give the baby food? So she was comparing that to when you are tired, that you still need to have sex. That's going to ruin your relationship. That's going to, this was a white woman, by the way, but it's black women and Hispanic women that I done bumped online saying the same stupid stuff. And it's black men saying the same stupid stuff. I think I seen a white man say something stupid like that too. People don't have enough wisdom. People ain't got enough sense. How you gonna equate feeding your baby, who is a dependent, who needs this to live, to sex with adults who are independent, who do not need sex to live? And I'm gonna tell you, I found this out in marriage, that sex is a plus, not a priority. I found out in marriage, it's a lot of days I'm too tired for sex. And when I'm too tired for sex, my wife may be too tired for sex. And even if she's not too tired for sex, then she respect that I'm tired. And when she's tired and I'm not tired, I respect that she's tired. And we are not beholden to sex. We are not slaves to sex. We as humans are living like we were made for sex when we were not made for sex. Sex was made for us, meaning that it was made for us to reproduce. And it was made for us to use it when we need it. But it is not a necessity. It is not a necessity. It is not a requirement. It is not a priority. And that is why a lot of people are going to hell in a handbasket, because they are recreating Sodom and Gomorrah and focusing so much on sex and not focusing enough on a relationship. A relationship is about your communication, how you speak verbally and non-verbally. It's about quality time. It's about understanding, compassion. That's what a relationship is about. A relationship is not about sex. And sex only has the power that you give it. If you take the power from sex out of your relationship and you focus on making love to your spouse's mind, you are going to experience a level of connection and communication and friendship and love that you did not know was possible. But the people who are beholden as slaves to sex will never experience that. And guess what? Sex is not making love, it is fulfilling lust, as I said earlier. And lust cannot be quenched. When you feed lust, lust gets stronger. So what's going to happen in your sexual relationship is you're going to quickly get bored. And in that boredom, you're going to start to introduce stuff to your relationship that somebody's going to end up hurt. And it's because you have built such a high tolerance for sex that you need more and more tricks and tips and tools and gadgets to get you on and to get you off. And it's going to get too nasty to be contained between the two of y'all. And somebody going to tip out because they want to experience it with somebody else's body part, because you done fed the lust so much. And if it ain't the woman, if it'll never be the woman, guess what? I guarantee you it's going to be the man. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You know why? Because that's how men are wired. Whatever we focus on, we're going to grow it. We're going to intensify it. And it's going to get too big at some point. If we don't reel ourselves in and realize that we got to take the power from it and retain our power and our agency over our lives. But I'm going to tell y'all single people, y'all is getting terrible advice from your counterparts. You're getting terrible advice. You're getting terrible advice from unhappy married people. And ignorant single people. Ignorant meaning they don't have the knowledge of what it takes for a relationship to be successful. They have the experience of failed relationships, but they don't have the knowledge and the experience of a successful relationship and the recipe for that. And even when we get that, we still don't know it all. So if a person in a successful marriage cannot give you 100% guaranteed proof that you can take their plan and be successful in your marriage, then how do you think a single relationship expert or a single relationship guru or a single relationship commentator is going to be able to give you even half of a successful plan? It's not going to work. And I am not competing. I'm not jealous. What I am is I'm concerned. And what I want is to see more marriages succeed. And I want more voices of people who are succeeding in marriage to speak up and share their recipe of what they can share so that people can take a little from different places and create their own recipe. That's what I want. And that's what we don't have enough of. We don't have enough of it. And I'm online, I probably could maybe point out 5 to 10 single voices, but as far as like married men, I probably only know or could think of a few others. Maybe 5 at the most, but not like with real impact or influence. It's just maybe a couple. And that's sad. So what's happening is it's leaving too much space and room for people who don't know what they're talking about to be talking. And that's why I have to increase my workload. So you see me posting more videos, that's the reason why. I have to, because the more quiet that I am, the more loud the misinformation is. And the misinformation, humans, we have itching ears. So whatever message is going to scratch our itching ears, we're going to entertain it. So when people who are misinformed or ignorant open their mouth to talk about something that they don't really understand, like a successful marriage, because they've never been in a successful marriage, if people receive the soothing balm for their itching ears, then the person is going to keep, these people going to keep talking, male and female, because it's getting them notoriety, it's getting them access, it's getting them influence, and it may be getting them money. So they're going to continue to talk more and more and more, knowing that they don't know what they're talking about. And that's going to continue to confuse and mislead single people. So now single people are going to meet the love of their life, but they're going to go into it with all of these fairy tale ideas and these preconceived notions that are false. And then they're going to end up in a divorce within 5 years and become a statistic, and then lose faith and hope in marriage because they are another statistic, not realizing it's because of who they were listening to about marriage, and didn't realize that when you come into marriage as a man, you may go weeks without sex with your wife. Didn't realize that when you come into marriage as a woman, you may have to take out the trash more than you want to. Didn't realize that as a woman, you may have to pay the bills in seasons in your marriage. Didn't realize as a man that you may get no financial help ever from your wife. Didn't realize that your job or your career was gonna put a strain on your marriage. Didn't realize that you may have special needs children that put a strain on your marriage. like, it's not a fairy tale. It's not easy. You can make it easy by being humble, by being willing to work, but it's not going to be that on its own. And that's what I need you to realize and understand. Like, you got to be prepared. Now, what a healthy marriage doesn't have is abuse in any form. But that doesn't mean you're not going to have to work through a season of it. That doesn't mean that you might not bump your head, or your spouse might not bump your head, and y'all got to come to the table and y'all got to make it be known, like, listen, this right here can't fly. Whatever this behavior is. That don't mean it's not going to rear its ugly head. That's the goal of the adversary. So you're going to have to work through tough things. What you're going to realize in marriage is you may end up forgiving things that single people told you that you should never forgive, and that you dumb or crazy for forgiving this particular thing. Whatever that may be, it could be different for different marriages. It literally could be a man taking care of his mom. And a woman has always been told, if a man take care of his mom, he's a mama's boy, and that's not who you want. But then here you meet a man, he able to take care of his mama, and he able to take care of his household. And it may be some time to where a man feel like he ought to put his mama first because of her health, and he got to be there for her, or vice versa. And you ain't prepared for that. And so I see all this type of stuff in relationships. And I'm in the trenches every day. And one thing that I'm realizing is that y'all single people are being ill prepared for the realities of marriage. That y'all are being sold pipe dreams and false realities that has nothing to do with a successful marriage. And that what y'all are worried about is the most minuscule, minute, ignorant things in the world. We literally have a list of restaurants not to take a woman to on the first date. We literally have all of these crazy preferences of financial level that a man or a woman need to be at. How the body need to look, how the eyes need to look, how the hair need to look, what the clothes need to look like, what the credit score need to look like. All of this different stuff that in the grand scheme of things do not matter. Do not matter. Me and my wife have been the happiest we've ever been in a marriage. Like, we've been we've had a 500 credit score and been absolutely happy in marriage. And yet, single people is worried about the person they're dating credit score. When you literally can could do a few credit tricks and go from a 500 to a 700. Like right now, if my balances are high on my credit card, my score is going to drop. My score could drop to a 500. I done seen this happen before. To where if I max out credit cards and I don't pay them before they report, I've dropped from a 750 to a 500. When I take and pay them cards down, pay them off, or pay them down to under 10%, I've seen my score go right from 500 right back to 750 in 30 to 45 days. And we literally are sitting and y'all having conversations, y'all worried about a credit score. You worried about going to the Cheesecake Factory. You worried about how much money this person make versus how much is their character worth. Worried about the wrong things. and then wondering, and then you end up just forever single and don't want to hear nothing else. Don't want to hear no realness from people who doing it and winning. Don't want to hear it from us, but want to listen to other single people who ain't never had a happy marriage tell you that you shouldn't settle for a man who make less than this amount of money. As if that man can't make more money. As if he can't go up from there. Don't want to hear it from people with a successful marriage, but then feel like you settling if you have a coffee date. As if having steak and shrimp is going to guarantee any more success than going for coffee. You breaking up with a man because he didn't open your car door, or he didn't pull out your chair. When every pimp in America open car doors and pull out chairs. When what you really don't realize is that the reason why that form of chivalry was created was because a woman didn't have no rights. When car doors and all that stuff happened, women couldn't vote. So how happy do you think them women was not being able to vote, not being able to work certain jobs, not being able to be paid fairly, but got a man opening their door? And now here we is, and I'm going to be honest with you. On a date night, I may remember to open the door. But you know why I'm not always thinking about that? It's because my wife is independent and strong, and she could do more than I could do. So a lot of time it just don't cross my mind. A lot of time I feel like I'm enabling her or slowing her down. To have her sitting over there waiting on me, who moves slow and walks slow, to come around there and open her door, and I done cut off the car because I done got out. So now she's sitting there, ain't no AC blowing. When opening the door take a pound of pressure. And then pushing it take a pound of pressure. But yet we'll get hung up over those things. It's men who leaving a woman because she can't cook like Annie Mae. Not realizing that y'all can learn how to cook together. Men leaving a woman because she don't make 3 meals a day. Because he heard a lady who probably was violated when she was a child go viral online, and they asked the lady, how often should you give a man head? And she said, every day. So now men can hear that and believe it. And that woman ain't doing that every day. And if she is, she's a fool. And if she tried, but she ain't doing that every day. Because she going to have lockjaw. She got lockjaw. She got TMJ. Ain't doing that every day. That stuff going down her throat, all in her mouth, that bacteria, whatever that man eating, gonna end up with ulcers, with canker sores in her mouth, end up with HPV in her throat. You know why? Because if a man would even accept that or require that from his woman every day, that's a man you can't trust. That's a low down dirty dog. He finna bring you a disease and put it right on your tongue. That's stupid. But it's men hearing these thirst-trapping women on these podcasts say stupid stuff that is not even realistic for no woman to be doing. And now they make that their standard. And vice versa. Y'all is listening to people who do not have common sense, who do not have practical wisdom, practical experience in a healthy marriage, not no healthy for a season dating relationship. tell you stuff that is not sustainable, that is not realistic, and you adding it to your list of requirements. So listen to me now. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to give you the game now. I'm trying to get you there to help you understand. You got to learn the principles of love and relationships. Selflessness, understanding, communication, forgiveness, compassion. You got to understand that you got to have these things that you can apply to it. So when something happens, you're able to say, okay, am I being taken advantage of? Am I being abused? Am I being mistreated? Is this malicious? So let me make a little random example here. Woman got to take out the trash. Is that abuse? The man ain't there. He at work. She happened to be cleaning up, or he out of town. She got to take out the trash. The women today that's on podcast talking will have a woman get angry with her man that he didn't take out the trash before he left to go out of town for business. A lot of women today are calling, why didn't you take out the trash Monday before you left? I would have just not put anything else in the trash until Wednesday when trash get picked up. This is, are you kidding me right now? So I have to take out the trash? That's how the advice y'all getting to have a woman right now today. But let me ask you, is that malicious of him? Is that abusive of him? But now guess what? Now this, listen to what I'm telling you now. That right there will be frowned upon. But then a man will come and say, let me give you a golden shower. Meaning pee on you. And a lot of women of today, the little girl that P did it with, I seen the post go viral, say she like to be peed on, call it a golden shower. Something she like golden shower. So listen to me. So now that's disgusting. You get a rash. You get a breakout from what's in that pee. That's a toxin. That's why the body releasing it. And on your skin, on your face, that's sadistic. That's a man telling you that you are crap, that you're a piece of trash, and that he owns you and you are his property. The next thing he will ask you, can he doodle on your chest? And guess what? There's thousands of households who have done what I just said. I guarantee it. I already know it because I just know which way lust's going to go. I just know where it's going to go. Because you're going to get bored. You're going to start to do stupid stuff just like peeing on people. When R. Kelly had that lady pee on that floor, which could have been an underage, why you think it got to that point? He hadn't done it all. He hadn't seen it all. A man in his right mind, we don't want no woman peeing on our floor. That pee stink. I don't care if you drink water all day. It still stink. Child, you don't get out of here with that pee. You better not pee on nothing, nowhere near me. I don't want to see none of it. I don't want to see it. The most I'll do is stand in the bathroom while you know. Absolutely not finna pee on me or my floor. But see, this is how sadistic the world is. You got people to where the woman will get mad about having to take out the trash, but then not be offended by a man asking her to have a threesome, or asking her for a hall pass, or asking her, can he go to the strip club and lust after other women, but mad about having to take out her trash that she helped put in there, that she had to take out her whole life before she had a man. That ain't the role of a man. Man to protect and provide. But the thing about it is, y'all is tripping over little stuff. A woman is a helpmeet. She's a supporter. But that don't mean she's a chef. That don't mean she Molly maid. So if my wife not cooking and cleaning, I'm not finna divorce her. Because I could go cook. We could sit down and talk about this. Hey, what's going on? You know, how you feeling? You need what you need from me? You know, because I was under the impression that because I'm doing this over here and I'm handling this over here, that you would be handling this over here. But if something going on, you know, like talk to me, let me know like how you feeling, because I could carry you in this season if you in depression from losing your grandmother, your grandfather, your mother, your father. I understand. So I could put that load on my back, but I just want to know what's bothering you and what you're going through. That's what marriage is. Marriage is not, man, listen here, man. This one, man, she go through one little thing, and now she can't cook. Now she can't clean. Now she can't have no set. One little thing. All right. See that, man? I should have stayed single. That's why I try to tell you, boy, stay single, man. This marriage ain't what they cracked up to be. Tony Gas, old simp, be lying. Just like that. That's our society today. We don't want to sacrifice. We don't want to put up with nothing. We don't want no inconvenience. We don't want no compromise. We tripping over little stuff. I mean, I'm hearing people talk, oh, they got to like this kind of music. They got to eat this kind of food. They got to do this. They got to do this. I mean, stuff that don't have nothing to do with marriage in the grand scheme of things. I'm just shocked and appalled. I'm shocked and appalled. So listen to me. I got to get ready to go. I got to coach a client in 10 minutes. This might be a premiere. I don't know. It might not be. It just depends on how I'm feeling. The reason why I don't do premieres just because I don't like people, you know, fussing and arguing and stuff live and distracting from the message. Whereas it was where everybody could read it at the same time. Whereas when it's just uploaded, you got to put it down in the bottom, and then some of them, YouTube, for whatever words they use, might even hide it or what have you. Because I don't want nothing to distract from what I'm trying to say. And what I want y'all to do walking away from this is I want you to start to really learn what marriage takes. I want you to really start to learn the dynamics of a healthy marriage. And I want you to learn the tough things that marriages had to overcome to be successful. And I want you to learn that marriage is not going to be a fairy tale unless you just look at it like a fairy tale. Meaning the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you say, this is my fairy tale. Marriage is not going to be perfect unless you just label it perfect. The good, the bad, the ugly. Like, learn what marriage is and learn what men and women, what we have to stomach and what we have to overlook and what we have to forgive and what we have to understand as men and women, because it's going to go both ways, because everybody's stuff stinks, so everybody gonna get tired of everybody. Like, men we could come up in our mind with a lot that we don't like about our wife, and our wives could come up with a lot in their mind that they don't like about us. And that's the hard part of marriage, that people who've not had a successful marriage can't tell you about. That yes, those things exist in successful marriages. Hard times, big tough conversations exist in successful marriages. Things that feel like it could be a deal breaker exist in successful marriages. It's the overcoming of. It's the covenant and the commitment until death does us part. And it's the willingness to sacrifice, to compromise together, and to work. Hey, this Tony Gaskin. God bless you. We're going to talk soon. And the Growth Club, group coaching, make sure TonyGaskinAcademy.com. You can hop on there. You'll see it, 2024 Growth Club. And then the 2024 This Is My Year, that's a virtual seminar. I'm teaching that on Zoom. Use the coupon code BLESSED for those two things. Use the coupon code BLESSED. God bless you.